Hello, and welcome to this introductory episode of Notes from the Oracle. For the remainder of the series, I will be your host, and with me, my co-host from Cabin 6 is Jack.
Hello.
Jack and I are going to be doing a chapter-by-chapter breakdown of Percy Jackson and its extended universe. We'll be starting with Percy Jackson and the Olympians, specifically Book 1, The Lightning Thief, and we'll be moving forward in a sort of book club style way where Jack and I go through each chapter, talk about what we liked, and specifically, I'm going to take note of any myths throughout the chapter, throughout all of the books, and I'm going to talk about them and break them down. I think it'll be really fun for when we're going through Percy Jackson, because I know a lot of the Greek myths already. I'm very ADHD, and myths have always been one of my hyperfixations, specifically Greek myths. But I'm really excited to get into the Egyptian mythology as well as the Norse mythology when we get to those parts of the series as well. Jack, you and I have known each other for a very long time at this point. We've been friends for a very, very long time. We've actually been playing D&D together for 10 years as of this year, or next year, but very soon. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself so the listeners at home can get a feel for that?
Yeah, it is disgusting how long we've known each other. And it is also really gross to figure out that we are indeed a decade into playing D&D together. Those are sobering numbers. But that's besides the point. I, like many people, grew up reading Percy Jackson. This is really the series that got me into reading. And I was just so vicious tearing through these books, plow through them in like a day and then beg my parents to go back to the library so we could get the next one. And eventually it just got to be, I was rereading the same books over and over and over again until the next one was released. And there really hasn't been a book series like that ever for me. That was the first and last. But I haven't read these books in, maybe like 12, 14 years. It's been since I was a proper kid. So I have forgotten a lot. I'm sure my memory is incredibly spotty. So I'm super excited to dive back into these books that I do hold very dear and kind of rediscover the world and hopefully re-spark that passion and excitement that I had as a child with these books.
Yeah, I can't say I feel anything but the same way. I have absolutely read this series over and over, for me, well into adulthood. I have consistently come back to these novels as a safe place and a home and a place that I can find peace and joy. So I'm really excited to share them with a wider audience. In fact, this will be my second time sharing them with people kind of outside of my own head and really getting a feel for other people in this space. You will often hear Jack and I make reference to a D&D campaign in particular that I ran called D&D Demigods, where Jack and a few other of our friends in our D&D group played as demigods at Camp Half-Blood, going through the events of the Heroes of Olympus series, the second series of 5 in the Percy Jackson specific part of the universe with the Romans and the Greeks, as well as a few other additional myths that I threw in for fun. So if you hear reference to Jack mentioning that that's my sister whenever we come across Annabeth, that's because Jack, your co-host from Cabin 6, Athena's Cabin, was a child of Athena, and I was, as the dungeon master, the Oracle. Hence, notes from the Oracle. I hope that you will join us as we explore a world of myth, wonder, and adventure alongside Percy and his friends for this read-through. We'll see you all in the first episode.
See ya.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please be sure to leave it a review and give us a follow so you never miss an episode. And until next time, this has been Notes from the Oracle.